Maboy Manila, this is Pope from ManilaShaker.com. Today we have the latest budget smartphone of Xiaomi in the market, the Redmi 10. It offers us jam-packed features at an affordable price. But today, we are not going to deep dive into those features, but instead, we are going to test its gaming prowess. Will the Redmi 10 give us the standard gaming experience we are looking for? Let's find out. Before we begin our actual gameplay, let's first run through some of the specs of the Redmi 10. It boasts a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display, which is paired with a 90Hz refresh rate, a 50MP quad camera setup, and as for its chipset, it is powered by MediaTek G88, a new chipset that works great for smartphones that offers high resolution and high refresh rate. Plus, the Redmi 10 is one of the first smartphones to use this kind of chipset. Our unit's configuration is set to 6GB of RAM plus 128GB of storage, although there is a lower variant available in the market. All of those features are backed by a 5000 mAh battery paired with an 18 watts fast charging. But we do have a 12nm process, so the question is, will the battery perform well when used in intensive gaming? Now, to begin our gaming review, we will start with a fully charged device so that we can see the performance of the 5000 mAh of battery. Here are the benchmarks. Our first game is Mobile Legends. By default, all settings are maxed out. The performance was smooth, although I did encounter a drastic frame drop, and I am not sure why it happened since I only encountered it during a clash, and after that it didn't happen again. So far, after that frame drop, my whole gameplay was smooth with no more interruptions occurred. So, with the max out settings, we get 55 to 59 FPS with 97% stability. Our second game is League of Legends Wild Rift. As usual, it is set to quality, but I will bump everything out and test the performance. Again, we do have a 90Hz display, but Wild Rift only supports up to 60Hz. Just like Mobile Legends, we did encounter a very rare frame drop, but all in all, its performance was smooth. With the default settings, we get 30 FPS with 100% stability, while with the maxed out settings, we get 57 to 60 FPS with 98% stability. Next is FPS games, and the first one is Call of Duty Mobile. The available settings are low and high frame rates, but by default, we are set to low plus medium. For the multiplayer mode, we encountered a very smooth performance, no frame drops or stuttering occurred throughout the game, even in heavy gunfights and making some flick shots. As for the Battle Royale mode, with the same settings, it performs smoothly as well. No frame drops upon landing or even aiming down sights during the gunfight. With the recommended settings for both multiplayer mode and Battle Royale mode, we get a smooth 30 FPS with 97% stability. Our next game is Pubg Mobile. By default, settings is set to HD plus high frame rates. Ultra frame rates are available via balance and smooth graphics quality. But let's try the default settings. Performance was okay. There is some very little stutter, but nothing too drastic that makes the game unplayable. But all in all, the game was great. The performance was somehow smooth. You can still aim and shoot without interruption since the touch response is pretty good as well. So, with the default HD graphics plus high frame rates, we get 28 to 30 FPS with 98% stability. Next are the graphic demanding games from MiHoYo. First is Hongkai Impact 3. By default, settings is set to medium with 30 FPS. I bump it up to max and test it out. During light combat, experience is quite smooth, but when it comes to skill animations or even the special skills, frames starts to fluctuate. The drop is noticeable, but for some, those kinds of fluctuations are bearable. Although for me, yes, it is bearable, but you might not enjoy playing it since there is more frame drops than the actual animation. So, with the bump up settings, we get 40 to 45 FPS with 96% stability. Last is Genshin Impact, and unfortunately, the game has more frame drops than stability, even in the lowest settings. For some, it can be bearable, but for me personally, I wouldn't play Genshin on this device. As for our battery update, after 3 hours of gaming, our battery dropped from 100% to 70%, which is good. Even though we have a high resolution display plus a big 12nm process, the battery managed to optimize its battery life. Now as for its charging prowess, the 5000 mAh of battery paired with 18 watts fast charging took about 2 hours before it was fully charged. We expect faster, but fair enough since it is in the budget category. So for the price of 8,590 pesos, we get the 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Though it does offer a lower variant, which is the 4GB of RAM, the 64GB of storage for the price of 7,590 pesos. Redmi 10 is a good phone. It is budget friendly, it offers decent specs on its price range, very solid and compact build, although I won't recommend it to competitive gamers since you might not enjoy playing some of the games due to sudden frame drops. But for those casual gamers who are opting for a decent smartphone that can provide the standard level of gaming experience we are expecting, Redmi 10 might be the one for you. So that is our gaming review of the Redmi 10. Let us know in the comment section below your thoughts about this device. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you will be updated with our future contents. Also, don't forget to visit manilashaker.com for more tech news, reviews, and comparison of the latest device. Once again, this is Pope, and mabuhay Manila!